The following program is sponsored by The Greek, Ely's Radio Shack dealer at 570 Altman in downtown Ely, and brought to you as a public service by Georgetown Media in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Tourism and Recreation Board meeting, May 26, 2020.
And Recreation Board regular meeting to order, May 26, 2020, and the time is 4:04. Thank you all, and we'll get this. We're going to get all the wiring, so appreciate it, Kyle, for working through it.
It's embarrassing, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I think we're doing great. It's, everybody can hear and we don't have that feedback this time, so we're making improvements. So I'd like to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please lead us, Kyle?
Absolutely. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 1, public comment. Is there any public comment? And if there is any from the room, if they could come up close to your computer.
So George, I got the computer turned around if you want to come up.
Okay. Where's your speaker?
Right here. So if you just look into the computer,
Okay.
it'll record everything here and here.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Madam Chairman, the $4,000 given to the community choir needs to be returned. They were not a 501c3 entity when they received the money, and they cannot circumvent the law. Neither can this board. Recently, they put up another black plastic cover on the entire roof. No permit, no inspection. Did they hire a licensed contractor to do the work on the commercial building? I can't get a permit to re-roof my residential property. The building inspector wants me to hire a contractor. The city inspector is selectively enforcing the law, as well as city council, White Pine County Commission, and possibly you, the Tour and Rec Board. Madam Chairman, on your agenda item, Roman number 2.1, regarding update for shared space with the Chamber of Commerce, that needs to be scrapped. Again, the Chamber is a private club and promotes only their members. I want to remind you of the ad they ran in the local newspaper dated March 13th, 2020. All of those people were members only. Madam Chairman, whoever's putting up the new murals is not following procedure. The murals first have to go before the city mural board. Once approved, then they go to the city council for final approval. I want to know who's painting the murals. I want to know if they have a business license, and I want to know if they have a local location. Madam Chairman, there was nothing in the packet or on the agenda in regards to putting back the walkway in the convention center parking lot. There was nothing in regards to minimum ADA standards, as well as putting in a coal patch over the trench that was dug in Vine Street. Ely City Code and policy is not being followed. The stop sign on the corner of 5th and Lyons has not been replaced. It's been months. What's the holdup? You have a safety issue that you have caused, and that needs to be addressed, and you're being negligent. 4 different streetlights within a block of the convention center have been out for months, and I'm not referring to the new units that are part of the so-called upgrade. Councilman Carson and County Commissioner Bullis need to address these fallacies, or consider resigning and allow someone else to address these safety issues. This is an important part of the community, and we need to address that. Operating in the dark is fine for some, but not for me. I'm a downtown businessman, and so are my friends. We need all the help we need, and being in the dark is not going to cut it. Madam Chairman, I'm requesting your answers in writing. If refused, please provide me the basis for your refusal. Madam Chairman, I've asked in the past, and I'm asking again, I've yet to receive any information regarding Mr. Ed Spear, who was a contractor with the Tour and Rec Board. Does he have a state business license, city business license, commercial location, and home occupation? I want to remind you again that he took over $300,000 bonus money from this facility alone. Are you telling me that he could not afford to pay proper licensing fees? He was a
That's 3
contractor.
minutes, George, thank you.
I'll be back.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, if we'll move on, is there any more public comment? Hearing none, we'll move to the new business, Roman numeral 2, item number 1, Discussion and for possible action, approval of agenda, including removal of agenda items. Any removal or do I hear an approval, a motion for an approval?
Madam Chairman, I make a motion that we approve the agenda as presented.
Ian, you're on mute.
I was muted, sorry, I'll second that.
Marietta made the motion and Ian seconded. All in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any abstention? Thank you. Motion carries. Number 2, discussion and for possible action, approval of the minutes of April 28th, 2020, and amendment of minutes from February 25th, 2020. Do I have any discussion on this item?
Move to approve.
If not, thank you.
I'll second the
Marietta.
motion. I'll second the
Been
motion.
moved by Ian and seconded by Marietta. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 3, a discussion, the review of the financial report, and if we can kind of guide us which one you'll start with, Kyle.
Absolutely. So we've got our packet here. Let's go ahead and start with the one that's on top, which would be the room tax remittance. And so this breaks down the different lodging properties and how much was collected for the month. This was the month that we expected to be the worst, so everybody hold on tight, but I don't think there should be any kind of surprises. For the hotel motels, there was a total of $51,067.69 in room tax that was remitted. For the RV parks and campgrounds, it was $3,832.51 for a total of $54,900.20. That broke down to the railroad getting $8,133.33. The city of Ely, we cut a check for $9,259.49, and the county golf course received $1,088.66. So did have some in, but again, we weren't expecting a whole heck of a lot, and I think that kind of is reinforced in this room tax comparison. And so we'll do the actuals here, and it's pretty much the same if you were looking at either one of those sheets, the 8% or the actuals. It came out to about 63.6% down from where we were this time last year. And yeah, absolutely huge hit. Thank goodness it wasn't in August. I don't really think there's a silver lining you can draw around this situation, so I won't even try to be optimistic, but we have started seeing things picking up in town in this month, so if there is a silver lining, hopefully it's that we're bouncing back and we'll be back to normal, hopefully sooner than later. Is there any question about the amount of room tax that was collected for this month? Okay,
Kyle,
yes.
if you heard from any of your colleagues in other counties on what their drop was, because I've heard up to 90%.
Yeah, we're definitely, when I look at comparables between the other counties, looking at what Carson City's had to do, Reno, Elko, and Las Vegas, they've definitely been hit a lot harder, 70, 80, 90%. They've gone into furloughs, they've laid people off, they've had to do all kinds of stuff. Thankfully, when you look at our budget, when we go through that, we weathered this particular month still with an operating surplus. So knowing that we weren't going to be bringing in a whole lot of money, we cut the I wouldn't say unnecessary marketing, because we don't do unnecessary marketing. We cut the fat where we could and tried to spend as little as possible. And I'll be honest, man, I'm really, really thankful that I've been allowed to cut in other areas and haven't had to explore layoffs or furloughs or anything like that yet, and I'm hoping we don't have to.
Indeed. We have quite an investment in all of our employees, and we need to recognize that.
I'm like, who do we even have to lay off? I mean, we're running on a pretty skeleton crew to begin with.
We'd all be in there volunteering.
Pretty much. So looking at the year-to-date budget form, we'll go ahead and pull that one out. So year-to-date, with a few months left to go, we are at 76% at what we had budgeted for income collected. So almost 83% of what we expected to collect from the city, 70% from the county, and then the center events is really what took the biggest hit, just because we did have quite a few things on the calendar. And I'll go into the convention later when the agenda item calls for it. But if you go all the way down to the bottom, again, I think the main thing here is that we are in the black. We have an operating surplus of $127,081.52. And I don't plan on whittling that down. So we're gonna continue to be conservative through the end of the fiscal year. Any questions about the financials?
So do you have any indication what May has been like?
Driving around the last couple weeks, I know when I met with the KOA, they had said that they were about where they normally are this time of year, and that they've been getting a lot of people coming up from Las Vegas. I know the campground at the top of Murray Summit was packed this weekend. You see people walking around downtown. I don't know, or I truly won't know until people put their room tax in, if that actually is converting into sales tax or hotel room nights or things like that. I know a lot of people are just pulling their RVs, into certain areas, but they're filling up gas, they're going to the grocery store, and I'm hoping those are the beginning indicators of us recovering.
Well, we can hope. I have heard about the 90% drop, and so, but 70 or 60 or 70 is nothing to sneeze at, but
No.
we're not lost. And we're a drive-through market, which is great, we're grateful for.
Well, and that's always what I've said through this whole thing. If there has to be a silver lining, we're an outdoors market, which is the industry that's gonna bounce back first, because that's what people are gonna be allowed to do. And we're a drive market, and we're not reliant on foreign and international travelers, and we're not reliant on people flying in from the other side of the country. So, even with that, I think talking with the state, Travel Nevada's even recognized that we're probably the first community that they can market confidently, saying, hey, go to Ely, check it out, they've got things going on in there, where places like Reno and Vegas, it's just, they're not even coming close to promoting them yet. I was just on a phone call with their PR team, and we're gonna get some attention here over the next couple weeks, just because we've got what's happening right now.
Great. Well, thank you for continuing to pitch it. Okay, any discussion on the financials? Okay, hearing none, let's move on to number 4, discussion and for possible action ratifying the bills. And if you look at that, Judy's put these in our packet, that would be number 4. And on the bills, I do need to disclose that I have an ownership in Bath Lumber, which is one of the checks that we'll separate out.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we pay check 24643 to 24677 in the amount of $78,233.99 minus the Bath Lumber bill.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We do not have a quorum. Mr. Beecher, we don't have a quorum on the Bath Lumber bill, so should we just hold that, or what do we need to do?
Yeah, I think we need to, an abstention does reduce the quorum, but it reduces the quorum of the entire board, so we still need 3 to pass, so we'll have to wait.
Okay, all right, we'll wait on that one. So we will go ahead and move to item number 6, discussion and for possible action, update on progress for shared space agreement with the White Pine Chamber of Commerce. Kyle?
Okay, so I believe, if I remember correctly, you guys should have this document that was emailed to you earlier today. This came from the Chamber of Commerce, and it essentially was their counter proposal. And so, without reading it word for word right here, essentially it comes down to shared expenses like the utilities. They're asking to be split 50%, so that would be power, telephone, heat, essentially all the utilities, which we would remit to the chamber. So the chamber, because they would still keep the ownership of the building, they would still be in charge of it. We would just have to split that with them. We would still take care of the modifications to the building, so that it would be the way that we wanted it to be. And then Wayne, maybe you were talking about providing volunteers